He's like, well, this isn't exactly what I wanted, but still. Yo, she left the fandom. Ooh. Never meet your idols. Never meet your idols. Yo. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if it's as bad as America, but that might be enough to get most people to join. The fact that who I thought was the biggest fan of Sakamoto himself, obsessed, sure, but Torimaru, I thought she was a fan. Only for her to completely abandon Sakamoto because he's fat. I totally thought when she learned the truth, she would just be into big guys. Nah, man. She literally said, like, I have to cancel my fan card. Like, I can't do it. Shallowest person known to man. And while I knew damn well Mafuyu was going to turn down the offer to turn cloak, granted, their healthcare offer, pretty damn impressive. Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if she tries to kill Sakamoto in Season 3. Like, I think people are going to underestimate how much this final episode of Part 2 sets up for a Part 3. Like, you got a school arc where the teachers are blasting you more than normal school shooters in America. You got the, who I thought was going to be obsessive fan, could be fun, turning into probably a psychopath wanting to kill you because you didn't keep your abs on. And just all the numerous character, like, this was a damn good season of Sakamoto Days. But when who I thought was essentially the representation of the fandom abandons him because of his gut, what is Season 3 gonna look like? Make sure you drop a like though on this video, show your support, subscribe if you're new around here, and Patrons where you'll catch every single reaction I did for Sakamoto Days. We didn't do too many videos on Part 2 on the channel, mainly because people didn't watch the videos on Part 2, and really Part 1 to begin with. So, you know, if you do want to see all my thoughts, it is over on Patreon, a bunch of other exclusives, and who knows, maybe if this video does well, when Season 3 comes out, maybe we'll try it on YouTube again. You can let me know. So, I've been enjoying this whole season. Way better than Season 1. This comes from someone who loved Season 1. When the internet was bitching and moaning it wasn't good enough, I was having a blast every week. But there is a significant improvement they did with Part 2 here, both production, but also the thing that caught me by surprise more than, like, I liked how it looked in Part 1, but it does move more in Part 2, there's no denying that. But the thing that I thought was significantly better that enhanced my enjoyment was the fact that the story structure felt less episodic and less, like, randomly put together. I felt like it was a lot more jumbled up in Part 1, and it could just be a case of, you know, trying to get to a lot of characters, get us caught up to speed with stuff, you know, and also just kind of setting up the world so that it can then pay off later on. But Part 2 felt a lot more structured. It felt like it had more of an identity rather than story of the week. And with the end of the island arc, which was a big test ground to see if you pass, if you can go to school, Sakamoto fails, because I guess, you know, wanted poster over his head can't allow him in, but he can go in as a hot teacher disguised as a woman, so that's pretty fantastic. You have a bunch of new characters that I fell in love with throughout this season who got to go to the island, and, you know, 2 of them ended up getting kidnapped because Slur and the gang said, hey, there's 2 people that caught my eye. So we're gonna bring them in and we're gonna say, hey, we give, like, they have better benefits than most people in America. It's hilarious. Now, the one who turns them down, I saw that coming a mile away. Unfortunately, I think that means he might get clapped there, but hopefully not. It's not guaranteed she accepts the offer, but it's highly likely she does. And I think it's probably for the best, because I really felt like what they were building in with her was that she would be another character obsessed with Sakamoto, might learn under him, blah blah blah. But if they're going the route that she's like, I'm so shallow that I have to abandon my love for Sakamoto because he's overweight, so now I go to the dark side. That's so hilariously shallow that I kind of need that. I thought what was going to happen, because in either the previous episode or the one before, it's kind of hinted at she sees a lot of Sakamoto in Shin, so that I figured, oh, well, if the current one's a little too overweight, maybe she'll, like, shallowly focus on Shin, who gives Sakamoto vibes, up and coming, and still has the hot bod, you know, like he takes care of himself. I wasn't expecting what they ended up doing. And it's so funny that she boldly admits to herself, I'm out of the fandom. Like, she straight up admits the fact that she can't be a part of the Sakamoto fan club anymore. Like, she's a singular person, but she represented everything about a fandom in this world and abandoned it. It's glorious. Like, I have so many thoughts racing through my head that season 3 is just going to be hilarious. And the fact that the teachers can unapologetically blast you. Like, when I was growing up, I forget what grade it was like 4th or 5th. There was a teacher that I had that had anger issues. Eventually he got fired. But I remember he used to whip erasers. Now, he never hit kids, but he had anger issues. He would have fit right in at this school, bro. Holy hell. Like, it is hilarious what they can do. Now, I know a lot of people are indifferent to school stuff, but when you have teachers who can blast you and like 10 people on a Monday can get shot up that isn't America and it gets seen as just a normal day of the week, like, holy hell, bro. This is hilarious. There's so much carnage they can explore. It's not going to function as your typical school series. There's so much to explore. The characterization was on point this season. I felt like they kind of early into the show, they kind of make you feel like, oh, skinny Sakamoto, right? Like, that's going to be his power-up. And then over the course of part 2, season 2, they pretty much said, actually, he doesn't need to become skinny. He now needs to know how to use his new body. And seemingly we can still have skinny Sakamoto in a way, but as like an alternate identity sort of a thing. There's a lot to explore. I think they did a good job at fleshing out the side cast fairly well. And honestly, Shin probably had the best characterization out of anyone this season. Like, because early into part 2, he feels guilty that Sakamoto got damaged because he needed to be protected. So that's been a big thing in the second half of this season, is him really being like, I need to stand my ground. And throughout that whole island arc, he stood his ground. If Sakamoto wasn't there, Slur would have killed everyone on that island. It's objectively facts. But Sakamoto isn't the only reason things got held at. Like, I really felt like Shin grew a lot, and while he still has a far way to go, you don't really have Sakamoto. Like, Sakamoto's not the character we're watching evolve and get stronger over time. Shin kind of represents that for the viewer, and it feels really great seeing how far he's come, as Sakamoto is that mentor, and I think it's perfect for him to be a teacher at this school. Fantastic season. I'd say it was like a couple of notches above part 1. Like, yes, part 1 did have a lot of static frames with its action scenes, but the art was always good and it functioned like a normal anime. But considering how good the animation was in part 2, I'm starting to wonder if they just prioritized part 1 less because they knew part 2 needed more time to cook. It really does feel like that way. In a perfect world, would part 1 have been as animated as well as part 2? Sure. But if the payoff is that we get this good of a part 2 and the story that they were adapting is significantly better, if you ask me, than part 1, I think it was worth it. And I mean, the popularity kind of speaks for itself. Like, it breaks Netflix records left and right. So, part 3, season 3, whatever the hell they're going to call it at this point, it's inevitable if you ask me. But sadly, the #1 fan of the show abandoned Sakamoto, and that is still the funniest shit I think I've seen all season. Let me know what you thought of the season or this final episode down below. How excited are you for a season 3 whenever we do get it? Let me know. Drop a like, show your support, subscribe if you're new around here, and Patreon is where you catch my full live reactions to every single episode. And more. Like, I also like to give video shoutouts to all my patrons. So today we got John Matrix, John True, Braun P, Ike O, Zero, Cody, Zanap Isles, and we also have Wyack Wilkins. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.